Hi guys! Guess who fucked up? Welcome to the oopsie stream. So your girl has like a test account that your girl being me. I have a test account that I use to like to test streaming stuff without actually going live on my main account, and I was using it over this week since Wednesday because I was trying to get my VTuber model set up and working, and I wanted to test like the frame rate and how well it was streaming and the bit rate and all that jazz, and I forgot to switch out the Steam key so that, you know, I went live on the correct account. I forgot to do that, and I got about 3 or 4 minutes into the stream when I realized, the chat's being rather quiet. I can see that there's people here. Why has no one said hello yet? And I was a little bit sad, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with it. And then I looked up at my little Twitch stat bar, and it said session time, 0 minutes. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? Oh no. I have done it wrong. I did fuck it up. I fucked up. Announcement in the Discord. Hang on, I'm gonna go tell Twitter that I fucked up. If you guys can actually see me, can you please confirm in the chat that you are hearing me now? It says that it should be working. Clearly you need to reload from your last save. Honestly, I could. You guys didn't miss much. I can hear you. Okay, good. Y'all were just so quiet. I was getting flashbacks to the time this happened 2 minutes ago. But we're live now for real. Okay. Just putting out a tweet real quick because I'm stupid. Okay, I can just, I honestly can just reload from my previous save. Like, there's nothing stopping me from doing that. Like, I could just fucking, like, load. All you guys missed was, like, one thing, and it was hearing all of their testimonies. Anyway, hi everybody, what's up? Edger Morenth, hello. Pop Phoenix 789, hello. Don Theron, hello. Chris Hall 27, hello. New Ghost 9, hello. Welcome back to Ace Attorney. Basically, we just missed the test, like the why they all think he's guilty now. And it's less that they think he's guilty and more that Shamspear is a fine, upstanding citizen in puffy shorts. Okay, let's get into it for real now. The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man. Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Do you know? Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very fishy. There's no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a fraudsman. For now, at least. I really don't care, like, I just need to wrap this trial up quickly. 3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know? Nothing at all. Yeah, I know, everyone in this game fucking hates Japanese people, what the fuck? Get your shit together, 1900s Britain. Shit. It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shamspear is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen in weird, puffy shorts. If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume says appears to have registered at all. Well, here goes. Let's not forget. I pleaded with the jury on Soseki-san's behalf before and it worked, so you never know. Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how a summation examination works, Mr. Naruhodo. I know we've been through this before, but this is a new game. And when this first came out on the 3DS, people probably weren't assuming you to have played the first game, like, right before this. Oh. Well, you're still very new to British law, after all. That's true, I suppose, and Sasaki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now, too. There's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. Perhaps I should hear Suzato-san out. I wonder, should I let her talk me through it again, or not bother? I'm good! I'm glad they gave me that option. Thank you for the kind offer, Miss Suzato. But I've been through plenty of these summations examinations already now. Yeah, I have. I think it's important that we don't delay the start of any longer than necessary. Of course, I understand, and I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you like. I'll be here for you. She's so cute and good. I love her. The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement. Finding two that are contradictory and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other. Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Let's go! Let's yell at some strangers. Yes, my lord. Let's go! Fight, fight, fight! Is that just how he stands normally in the background over there? Just like, ha! Ha-ha! Just always mouth agape, Jesus Christ guy. Alright.
Hold it!
Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars? Oh, I've no doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example. Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume is no liar. Look, the point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was the Japanese man's tea. When you take that gas man's testimony into account as truth, the truth couldn't be any clearer. Well, that's alarmingly logical. But let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman with a gentleman's values, and a gentleman's top hat that's filled with secrets and racism. If it turns out the old Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all, I'd gladly change my decision about the defendant. And I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same. Isn't that right? Well, yes, perhaps. Though I don't see it happening. What's that? Elderly gent on the end here, you know. You'll have to speak up. Lauren the Red Rose, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Stream Squad. Look, I really don't care about all this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over. Why'd he get Southern there? How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury, then? Alright, sir. I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you said. Add it to your formal testimony, please. If you show me that the victim's a liar, I'll reconsider my position. Hell yeah.
Hold it!
Are you saying you believe the man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid? No, that's not what I said. The point is, the man is the victim here. What reason would he have to lie? And yes, he is rather splendid. So you say, yet again. Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves so suspiciously it's exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all. Splendid logic there, madam. Thank you so much. You're fishy! No. Not one of those things is a reason to find the man guilty. Well, he is fishy. There's no point dancing around the fact. He's Japanese, he has a mustache, and he stoops. You see, you arrive at the conclusion in just 3 steps. 3 steps. Like a waltz, in fact. Waltz you right into an open hole. You know, the more I think about it, the more this trial seems like a dance. You seem to be several steps ahead of yourself, though, and you're on the wrong foot. No, there's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt. But the victim's version of events is backed up by what the big-chinned man next to him says, isn't it? 1, he says he saw the Japanese man there. 2, saw no one else. And 3, he saw the Japanese man there. Oh, there's another 3 steps. All this really does seem to be more and more like a waltz, doesn't it? Again, I will waltz you right into just a leopard pit. Right, and the prosecution will waltz its way to victory if I let you speak much more. Just put him in a leopard pit.
Hold it!
Fraudsman? What do you mean by that, madam? Listen, we all want to slap the entire jury at all times. Give the guy a break. It's not his fault he was born without a brain. If I only had a brain. Really is a most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can be absolutely certain that the customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence. We can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued. Does she work for the gas company? I'm sorry, you lost me a little there. Who are you? I'm the wife of Augustus Altamont, owner of the Altamont Gas Company. Good gracious! Altamont Gas, you say? Gas is the future of energy in this country and around the globe, but proper handling is essential. As I'm sure our employee from the East End branch office would be the first to agree. Absolutely, Lady Quinby! Gotta get used to properly. Altamont Gas is the best in the world, of course. I think we may have solved the mystery of that bow from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, he bowed in deference to his employer's wife, did he? So would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Meterman was watching what Mr. Shamspear was up to in his room... I'm afraid that there's no end to the lengths the population of East End will go to in order to steal our gas. So I really have no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible fraudster. But to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night. We're very thorough in our investigations. So you mean Mr. Shamspear is... I wouldn't come out and say it in public. But you can finish the sentence with a grubby little gas thief. Cool umbrella, lady. No, yeah, William Shamspear is the what is he, the plaintiff in this case? He's the one saying, he's like, someone tried to kill me, get him. You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you? There he is. The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Faith, wouldst thou wound me with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin. But seraphs hear not insults, only choirs of angels in song. We may not have evidence yet, but my workers don't stop buzzing around you until they find it. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in an Altamont gas explosion. So Mr. Shamspear has been stealing gas. I don't need to steal gas, I make my own. Ha-ha! Zing! Every time I go to Taco Bell. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement? My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping that thief apart you enjoyed? A little bit before the part about abject violence, if it's not too much trouble. Yes, of course. This could be it. This should shift the balance. Victim puts on a fine performance, but in reality is a common thief of my company's gas.
Objection!
Oh wait, I guess that's not him being a liar. It's just that he's, stealing shit. Okay, fine. 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 Okay, I'll come back to you.
Hold it!
How are you doing, Star? I'm good. It's a little hot in here, but I'm okay. It's fall! Make it colder! You keep talking about needing to take home some money. What's that all about, sir? I'll finish last, that's what it's all about. What's that? I'm talking about the derby at Hyde Park, aren't I? It was Queen's Cup last week, wasn't it? A derby? It was a dead set, that's the thing. I couldn't lose, so I took my wife's secret savings, but then that old hopeless mare went and did the unthinkable. Ah, stupid Finnish lass. Oh, you wasted all your money on horse gambling, didn't you? Spending all your monies on the ponies. Oh dear, I think it's clear what happened, isn't it? This is the day the missus uses the savings for a trip down to the pub. So, come on, let this business lie now, just give it up. No, that's not gonna happen.
Hold it!
What do you really mean by that, sir? Well, I'm not one to boast, but I get up at 5 every morning, I do. At 5? You're a really early riser then, aren't you? What's that now? I said you're a really early riser. Oh, well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I like to while away the hours in the evening reading books as well. But by about 2 in the morning, I'm usually too tired to go on. He sleeps at 2 in the morning and gets up at 5? Oh my, that means he only has 3 hours of sleep each night. Huh? What's that, dear? Only 3 hours of sleep each night! That's right, you see. 3 hours of missing time. Like I said, it's not much, is it? This really isn't helping. Okay, so 5 and 6 aren't gonna do shit for us. The key to summation examinations is identifying contradictions between jurors' statements, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, and once I've found 2 jurors whose statements can't coexist, I need to pit those jurors against each other. Then hopefully, when they see what they're saying doesn't make any sense, they'll change their leaning. Yes, and if you're able to change the minds of a majority of the jurors, the trial will continue. But conversely, if you're unable to do that, the judge will declare the trial over and move to adjudication. Adjudication. I always mess up that word. I can't let that happen. Somehow or other, I have to turn this trial around. Don't make me turn this trial around. Okay, so it's gonna be between these guys. I'm gonna go ahead and just save real quick. So I pressed everybody.
Objection!
There we go. Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious. To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 1. Eh? What are you yelling about, lad? I presume you've heard juror number 4's statement made by the wife of the owner of Altamont Gas. Well, yes. The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, is actually extremely gay. Have you seen his tiny shorts? I'm sorry. In fact, turns out to be a common thief. So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much. It's true, we don't have evidence as such, just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know. What? You heard me. Seeing as his operation has already been compromised, I would suggest that the court hears testimony from my East End branch office employee over there. Popeye the Sailor Man. I'll do whatever you say, m'lady. Gasman's honor. I'm sorry I keep changing his voice. I'm trying to settle on something for him. Juror number 1, you say that you're a man of your word. If I could show them Mr. Shamspear was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. Yes, I did say that. As a man of honor, I'll hold to it. As I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will. Me? Oh, well, yes. Now that we've found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further. Well, if I am perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've all been saying. So this means you'll all recap a few points. That would suit me down to the ground. Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial over and done with. In that case, I shall change my leaning. So, Mr. William Shamspear, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are. And now it's time to activate the fire hazard. Honestly, I have no clue what Popeye's voice sounds like. God, it's been forever since I've watched any of those cartoons, but he's very, like, gravelly. Yeah, I'm Popeye Sailor Man. My voice would die if I did that voice for him. It would die within 10 minutes. But maybe I can find a close enough approximation that doesn't hurt. That's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo! Victory! You dare call the Great British Court silly? No. Wait till you see the prosecutor. He's so great. He's a prick, but he's fun. He likes to put his shoes on the table. Order! Order! Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. We do this every single time, Judge. As a result of the defense's summation examination, the jury's leaning has changed. Now only 2 jurors say guilty, whilst 4 say not guilty. Yes, Judge, we all have eyes. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of disaccord, and order the trial to continue. Damn Skippy, you do. What's up, Vampworth? Yeah, drink your fucking wine. Whine about it. Okay. You have spoilt the bouquet, Mr. Shamspear. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find that they are unable to trust you as a victim. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear. This gas man speaketh that which concerns him most, naught but gas, naught but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright awhile, but it hath no substance, and it doth reek foul. I wonder if there's an official count of how many wine glasses he smashed. It's up there. It's at least in the double digits by this point. Oi, what did you say? I might be able to do that voice if he doesn't talk too much. Do I take it, Mr. Shamspear, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Most heartily, my lord. Hast thou forgot? I am as a seraph, an angel, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart. Ah, you flowery-mouthed pompous beanpole! Just because I haven't got the evidence yet. Mr. Shamspear, shut the fuck up. If, in fact, you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. An angel would know when to shut up and stop talking. It is my considered opinion that at the present time no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. All testimony heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case. Oh no. However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court to not pursue the point further.
Objection!
Shut up! I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas and this case are unrelated. Juror number 4. Yes. Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove that this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? That's right, we do. Don't we, worker? Absolutely, Lady Quinby. Gasman's honor. Very well, then. We will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shamspear, has been stealing gas. Yes, my lord. It'll be my pleasure. On the Altamont gas name, I swear. If I may, my lord. Go ahead, madam. This worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind. Woohoo! Oh yeah! Sweet as honey! Yeah! Jeez. Very well. As an exception, I shall honor your request. I do really enjoy her design. She's actually really cute. Thank you, my lord. You wait till the boss gives you an earful. Oh, it's gonna sting you, mark my words. So, you will both testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Altamont Gas Company's fuel. Yes. Is that clear, my good man? Clear as Altamont gas, my lady. Which is the clearest gas in the world. I'm sorry, I can't do the Popeye voice for too long, and if he's gonna be fucking doing testimony, I cannot keep that voice up. Do you think the gas has gone to Miss Head, Miss Susato? I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Altamont gas meters accept through penny bits, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet the meter in Mr. Shamspear's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has only one key. I figured it out! I figured it out! I figured it out! I figured it out! You guys, I have figured it out. Wait, that's not the right thing. Court record, court record. Have you ever heard, like, those things where it's like... Okay, so there were a bunch of, like, these little, like, weird soap bars lined up outside the closed-off window, right? Like, there were a bunch of mixed bricks missing from the window, and they had, like, the soap bars sitting outside because it's below freezing outside because it's fucking snowing. He was using the soap as a mold. He was making ice he was making like little ice coins and sticking them in the meter and then using them to pay for the gas. And that's why in the picture, there's a weird puddle underneath the freaking gas meter, because as the ice melted, it turned into water. I got it. We got this shit unlocked. That's what the fucking soap is. I figured it out. I got that shit. I've solved it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key. Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is? I'm a fucking genius, you guys. I got this shit on lock. I am the ace attorney. It's true. Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hallowed chalice. I'm day drinking because you're all fucking stupid. What do you mean by that remark, Lord Van Zeeks? Did the mustachioed Nipponese poison the gangling excuse for an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should be concerned this court. And yet, now we must listen to this abhorrence. You're an abhorrence. Clearly what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance. But this could turn out to be crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. Yeet! Do what you will. Lord Van Zeeks appears to be in a very violent mood. It seems like he woke up and chose violence. Yes, he does. He just... Yep, there it is! An attempted poisoning and an incidence of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at a first glance. But I wonder. The truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. And the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. He's a fancy lad. He's gonna do the little law dance. If you get that reference, I'm sorry for what your TikTok dash is probably like just now. Okay.
Hold it!
Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks! He's been pinching gas off us for ages! And you have examined the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room, I take it? Naturally. We took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume? No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shamspeare Special. That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces. But even after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty. I'll never forget the humiliation. When I opened up the money box and found it bare, you what? I said, you what? And the look on his face, that smarmy smile of his. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of it being jammed open anywhere, not a single sign. Dude, chill out with the neckerchief, my guy. And what's happening to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter? Nothing became of it. I've still got it. Oh. Right here. No wonder they call you Meter Man. I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing. Give me that shit. I want to look at it. Definitely. Let's look at it. I would like to see the box, please. Show me the box. It's a very sturdy looking padlock, isn't it? And the money box is sealed with beeswax, too. So if Mr. Sholmes were to get up to any mischief, he'd be found out immediately. Mr. Naruhodo, mischief of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Sholmes would... You know you didn't finish that sentence, don't you? Well, anyway, it's understandable that the gas company would want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs. But it does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it? It do. What else is there on this box? Ah, oh, what's... Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo? Just here, there's a little hole. Do you see? Oh, goodness, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed. It's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. So, you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamspear? Possibly. It seems the people at the Altamont Gas must have missed it. Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through to the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through there. That's true, but even so, it seems more than a little suspicious. Catch coin, and there's a tiny hole in space. Okay, that'll become important later because that's where the water's dripping out. Calling it now. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it has as much value as the contents of that meter. Oof. Okay. Doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though. Doesn't it? Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with. What? Get away! I've been over and over that thing. I'm telling you there's nothing wrong with it. In that case, what do you have to say about this small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Hole? What? You're right. You're quite right. There is a little hole there. The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamspear secretly opened up this hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get a farthing through that. Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design. What sorts of details? Well, what I'd specifically like to know is how it differentiates coins. Because if an ice coin was slid in there, would it know? How does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put in a 1-penny coin, that wouldn't work presumably, would it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the meter know that the coin it's been fed is the through-penny bit? Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A through-penny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit. I see. It's clearly been very well thought out. The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent. As you wish, my lord. The meter is designed for coins the exact diameter and thickness of a through-penny bit. Nothing else will fit.
Hold it!
But conversely then, it would seem that anything matching a 3-pence coin exactly in terms of diameter and thickness could equally well be used. Would, that be true? Well, yes, in a way. The weight comes into a certain extent as well. We've thought of that through. Anyway, if I find any fake coins inside the box when I empty the meter, the contract says the customer has to pay 100 times the amount they've diddled as a fine. We live for moments like that, us gasmen do. Live for them. Yeah. It would seem the gas company has thought of everything. Woohoo! Hurrah for gas! Hurrah for cash! Altamont all the way! That's quite enough of that. Oh, that's kind of a cute sprite. It's just poking. Remind me, how big are through-penny bits? About 3/4 of an inch across. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Is this 2 centimeters measurement significant? Or perhaps there's some other aspect of the meter's construction that we should be focusing on? Yes, you may be right. Perhaps I should try a different tack here. Like asking about whether the meter can be dismantled, for example. No, I'm on this. I'm on it. Of course, my lord. As I was saying, Altamont meters are unsurpassed. They can't be manipulated. Using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. Okay. Certainly didn't expect to uncover another crime that looks like it's been taking place in the very same room. According to the testimony, it's only the meter in Mr. Shamspear's room that's under suspicion. It does seem as though perhaps it has nothing to do with the incident involving Mr. Natsume. I know, it does seem that way, but the fact is, since I've been practicing law in England, I feel like I've encountered this at least once already. Cases that are interlinked. Oh. It might seem that two cases have nothing to do with one another at first, but in fact they're intimately connected. Yeah, I know, I gotta look through all the evidence again before I start presenting shit. Yes, we have experienced that before, haven't we? I wonder if this is another instance. Perhaps, but we can't be sure of that yet. I need to look at that bar of soap again to, confirm the size. The Altamont Gas Company has been investigating Mr. Shamspear so earnestly. There must be something to it. But then how has he been managing to steal their gas? Okay. Let's go. Oh, look at this bar of soap. There's a circular depression on this side, about 2 centimeters across. Or 3/4 of an inch. Ah, do you think? We did find the soap at the scene, didn't we? Yes. Yes, there were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside the window. So we took this one. But I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember it clearly. Yes, but there's no sign of it now. 'Cause it melted! Where could it have gone? Yup. Yup, there she blows. There she is. We got him. Got him. Okay, I'm gonna save first. You're too smart? No, I'm just the right amount of smart. I can't do basic math, but I'm very good at logic puzzles.
Objection!
Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a through penny bit. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shamspear's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the same size as the through penny bit? What was it? The item in question is this. What? Have you been inhaling gas? That's a bar of soap. It certainly looks nothing like a through penny bit, I must say. Looks like I'm gonna have to point out exactly what I mean here. Have I played Baba Is You? I have not. What's important about the soap is this part here. Ding bong. You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Ah! Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? That's right. A depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or, in other words, almost exactly the same size as a through penny bit. Get away! Does anyone here present have in their possession a through penny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen. It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it? Give me a change! Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a through penny bit. Now, to see if it fits. I told you guys, I told you, I know this shit, I got this shit on lockdown! My word, it couldn't be more snug. Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Altamont Gas Company is being defrauded. Well, I don't believe it. Oh, the stripy dress, it's so cute! Bees! So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Yes. The depression in the soap was clearly made by a through penny bit. I must concur at least that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape. And then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You can make fake coins in no time! This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method Mr. Shamspear has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now, if I follow the chain of thought, it's gonna bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them before when he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear. Yeah, he's figured it out. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? Yeah, he knows. He knows what's going on. That is one form of black magic that would cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air, yes. Exactly. And the meter here gives it away. What on earth? Oh. GLMD Grillson, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Stream Squad. There are remnants of the magical method used visible on the gas meter taken from the victim's room. If that is your assertion, counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. Where on the meter can the remnants of the method used to make fake coins disappear be seen? In the hole.
Got it!
We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found this soap. I get it. That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Nice. Did you say ice? And Mr. Shamspeare has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts, turning back into water and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont gas. But what does that have to do with the case? Just like that, so simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us all with some bars of soap and some water? Was he, like, drinking the coin water? What's his deal? That's right, madam. I don't believe it. It can't be true. Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have the audacity to suggest that that bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless? I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence! Sorry? I want evidence! If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof. She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it. What? Mr. Naruhodo, are you saying... Do you actually have evidence to support this theory? I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. The piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about how Mr. Shamspeare has been stealing gas is the photo that I showed you guys earlier. The crime scene photo with the weird puddle in it. This is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. And it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamspeare. What remnants? Use your eyes, Vampworth. Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamspeare's room. Now, look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. What is that? Some kind of grubby stain? Almost certainly. It's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter. Ah! If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, the occupant was heating this room in all his waking hours. We can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside this meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful! And there's further evidence, too. Mr. Shamspeare slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap broken in half. You're right. It would appear to me, then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he? Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but Certainly not. He didn't beat about the bush there, did he? In truth, Mr. Shamspear was found with a fork in his hand. A meal of soap is sounding increasingly likely to... Do you mean to say he was using that fork to... Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap. Oh, okay, that's where the fork comes into it. Ah! But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well. Good gracious. Yeet! Good lord, man. How many of those wine bottles are you going to bring for one court case? Lord Van Zeeks? I was throwing my hand up in despair. There we go. And happened to catch my hallowed chalice bottle on the way. Pray, forgive my maladroit mistake. What is the meaning of this, council? You've killed 2 people already. Is there not enough blood on your hands? Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? Well... that Mr. William Shamspear is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. That's it. That's exactly it. Very well. Let us assume the man is a liar. Now, allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well... we know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no signs of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gasman's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible ways poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Even if William Shamspear is the liar you claim him to be, the facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Yeah. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. What? Yeah, I'm still struggling to see how they connect. There's gotta be something we're missing here. Order, order! Well, counsel, how does the defense respond? Mr. Naruhodo! The counsel is examining the desk really hard, Your Honor. What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Did it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Zeeks is saying? Let me look. Yeah, we need to figure out where the fucking poison was. Strychnine is a type of poison, apparently. I feel like I've heard of it outside of this game before. Maybe it was used in the soap. I feel like the soap doesn't have anything to do with it at this point, but maybe it does, I don't know! Like, my current thought that's unlikely is that the strychnine poison was in the water somehow that he used for the coin, and when it broke when he was trying to get it out of the soap, he was just like, oh, fuck it, and then ate it. But the freaking gas guy says he didn't see him eat or drink anything else. So, like, what the fuck, my guy? Rat poison. No, this isn't over. The defense will not rest. What? But, counsel, you've successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shamspear to consume gas. What more is there to discuss? Lord Van Zeeks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption, made due to lack of evidence. Yeah, get wrecked. But the situation has changed now following the cross-examination of the latest witnesses to take the stand. Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense? Yes, when you bring everything we've learned so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider. Namely... Because, yeah, we still don't know if the poison was in the tea. We've all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspear was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume. But that's conjecture at best. The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There's no other possibility. And since there was no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of the poison. Yeah, so you don't know it was in the tea. As I said, the situation has changed. Because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene. And a particular piece of evidence proves it. Oh, shit, yeah, he did freeze the tea. That's why it was kind of reddish, and it left the, okay, you can't see it now, but I remember when we first found that bar of soap, it was kind of red, and the little stain on the inside of the teacup is kind of reddish. He didn't drink it, he used it to make his little fake coins. Oh, shit. A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea? Maybe not... Oh, the puddle on the floor. If it's still a puddle. It's gonna be either the bar of soap or the photograph with the puddle in it. And I'm gonna save before I do anything. But there were still 2 bars of soap outside, so I feel like it's more likely it's this one. Good gracious. The soap again? The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice? Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled across the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice. There was something strange about them, you mean? Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red? No, you mean... That's right. It's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea. What? I would remind the court of a statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial. That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspear's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water specifically to make it. And this is the result. Never will I touch tea again. Never! Ah, yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing. So on the night in question, Mr. Shamspear, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins. My word. And there were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed one of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime. frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shamspeare's window. Extraordinary. Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that even if one drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove that has until now been mere conjecture. By finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contained strychnine at all. Ugh, you smug Nipponese. Shut up. Dick. My lord, we cannot defend the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the from the scene at once. I cannot speak English. And the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it to determine whether or not it contains any poison. And there's the connection. Bailiff, instruct the police to attend to the scene at once. Yes, my lord, understood. Also, I'll go ahead and say I'm sorry if the game volume has been a little bit loud so far. I just realized that some of my audio sources were turned on when they were not supposed to be, so the game music may have been a little louder than necessary. I have fixed it now, though, so hopefully the game volume is not too loud. It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. Volume is fine. Okay, cool. Volume sounds fine to me. Well, I mean, it was like, I had some extra stuff turned on earlier that shouldn't have been there, and in actually part 2 of this game, the volume is messed up, and I just remember hearing it and, like, being upset. I'm getting all wrapped up in my headphone wires. Oh, shit. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zeeks? None, my lord. Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. This trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. Oh! Because in the first game, all the cases happened on the same day. We're gonna get a second round of investigation. Oh, we're not finishing this trial today, are we? The prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate on the interim. Yes, my lord. What the fuck, Evan? I'm going home. Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow. Because, like, this was a regular thing they did in the original Ace Attorney series. Is like, trials could sometimes take, like, multiple rounds of investigation. But in the first game of this series, all of them had at least one case that took more than one day. I don't think it did. In this game, Ace Attorney, Great Ace Attorney 1, pretty much all of the cases were wrapped up. The first game had a case that took 3 days. Not in this game. Not in this series. And, like, the original Ace Attorney games, maybe, but not this one. Because pretty much all of them were investigate, go to court, done. Investigate, go to court, done. Investigate, go to court, done. Yeah, the trilogy cases from the original ones, but Great Ace Attorney, the first game, yeah. Like, Great Ace Attorney hasn't had any multiple day cases at all, and I thought that was strange. I didn't point it out at all at any point. But it was definitely something I was thinking about. Whew, we made it back in one piece. Just. To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. We had a lot of close shaves. There are so many carriages on the streets of London. You were very nearly flattened several times. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Yeah, there was one where we didn't even go to court because it was all on the boat, channeling some investigations there. Ace Attorney investigations, Miles Edgeworth. Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo-san. It really was. I was in awe of you. Oh, thank you. And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can't find some new clues for court tomorrow. Yes, let's do that. Is everything all right? I suppose I still can't quite believe it, that's all. That I'm here in England working as a lawyer, I mean. In the Old Bailey, no less. Truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. Every time we're gonna get sad about Kazuma, goddammit! It should be Kazuma. It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you would follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him. Yes, I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. And you're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I've no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same if he were here with us. Thank you, Susato-san. Thank you. Alright, let's fucking go. Hang on, I want to see if Sholmes is here. I want to say hi. I want to say hi to my detective boyfriend real quick. Hold on. Give me a sec. I hope he's here.
Oh, Runo, it's Susie. Hooray, you're back. Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am. And you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie.
Oh, you flatter me.
Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll set some cups.
Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell? Oh, it's Sholmes. Aha! The Wanderers return at last. Where on earth have the pair of you been? Court, dude. We've been in court? Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case? That was today, was it?
Hi, Sholmes.
I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would have liked to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Oh, you two know each other? Is Lord Van Zykes an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Sholmes? Whatever is that odor? Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed. That's the scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Oh, dear. All right, I'll bite. What's he up to now? What you doing, Sholmes? What's up, my guy? What's up, bud? Lord Barak von Zeeks. Yes, it's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts. Sooner or later, the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. But vanish how exactly? By falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue being set upon by a highwayman. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring.
If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zeek's own hand.
As it happens, Miss Susato, that is quite impossible.
Oh? Why?
Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast-iron alibi. Really? And so his reign continued. But 5 years ago, I love this pose of his, with his case kind of like pushing his hair back. It's very dramatic. Shut up. Let me look at my boyfriend for a few minutes. He vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey. Y'all, I'm having thoughts. I'm having thoughts. And I don't like where they're going. but I'm going to voice them because if I end up being right, I will scream. So at the end of the last game, there was that, I'm calling it the secret government call-out post for now because, like, what the fuck else are we gonna call it? The secret government call-out post that had Kazuma's name in it for some reason. Was Kazuma up to some shit? And Van Zieks was involved, and he already had a grudge against Kazuma for some reason, and they just never met, and so he thinks... Does that... I feel like Van Zieks' grudge against me personally, because, like, he said at the end of the last game, he started coming back to court specifically to face off with me because... I'm saying me as in Rinosuke. Because Rinosuke is Japanese, and Kazuma is also Japanese, and Kazuma pissed him off, and those two know each other somehow, and there's like some kind of connection between Kazuma and Van Zoinks, and so shit is happening, and he's taking out his revenge on you. Did Kazuma kill Van Zieks' mom or some shit? I don't know, but there is something happening there. And my brainworms are very agitated right now. I don't know what's going on, but things are there's stuff, there's things in the brainium. Why was Wilson getting called out though? I don't know what he did to end up on the secret government call-out post. Maybe there's some connection between Kazuma and Iris's dad. And then we have, who else was it? Gregson was in the secret government call-out post. So he's involved somehow. And then there was a fourth person who we haven't met because we didn't recognize the name, who will almost definitely be showing up before the end of this game. I've got my little fucking conspiracy board, and right now it's all pointing to a bunch of question marks, but we're gonna figure this shit out, you guys, I swear to God. I love the name Von Zoinks. Me too. I keep saying it because it's fun. Okay, let's get back into it. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection, and really did end bitterly indeed. Vampworth von Zoinks, that's his name! That's his name! And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again. Conspiracy forward fears wary Sholmes. Listen! Shut up! I've gotta go to Michael's and buy some fucking red yarn. Shit.
Poor Runo, I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky. Or incredibly unlikable.
It's neither of those, Iris. It's a fucking conspiracy. I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people. With Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese as well as Miss Susato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. Okay, but if you do one, it's gonna turn into a do-it-for-him boards with Photoshop. Listen, you say that as if I haven't already started making that meme. I was going to. Like, the thought was in my head, but I was like, I'll do it later. Yeah, don't look at me. Do not perceive me. For some reason, Lord Van Zieks seemed to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed, it is an interesting observation. Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes? I have approximate knowledge of many things. Oh, the music got quiet. Does he actually know something? Backstory. Give it to me. Okay. About 10 years ago, the Baron von Zieks chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. Huh. No. What the... Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the effect. Oh, come on, Sholmes! Come on! I want to know the lore. I've got my red yarn and everything.
Oh, but...
Were Van Zoinks and Kazuma BFFs? Does that timeline make any sense at all? They're like 10... Because Kazuma's in his 20s, and Van Zoinks is like... He's 32. So the ages don't exactly line up, but like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Who is your friend? Who is your friend who stabbed you in the back, sir? The veil will be listed on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Being a cop ages you, I guess. Is Sholmes actually evil? I don't know, but he's not telling me what I want to know. God damn it, Sholmes. Stop hiding shit from me. Let me into your large, vacant brain. Or if it was Kazuma's dad. It could have been. It could have been. There's somebody. There's some going on here, you guys. What the fuck? So, what is that indescribably foul smell? Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. What is that? My dear fellow, it is of course my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not tea is genuine at the drop of some tea.
Oh my!
There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is in fact merely dyed leaves of drab flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris! It's science time, baby.
At the ready, Hurley!
I was about to make a hot leaf juice. I was waiting for the right moment. Let us add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? Ooh. It turned completely black. And what a foul odor it's giving off. Indeed. The blacker the tea becomes and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. It would appear that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious, but what do you do with that black liquid now? Why, dispose of it naturally. Surely you wouldn't want to drink it like this, would you?
There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes.
Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. Uncle Iroh is rolling right now. The point is, we are entering a new era of science, in the world of criminal investigation also.
Yes, forensic science. Oh, these are such exciting times.
I regularly engage with this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Herlock-Sholmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. This little tea indicant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. Tell me about your ways, Sholmesy. So, your tea test, is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is! An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. And not a huge number of cases, then. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels there. Hadn't even heard of them until recently. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course.
Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes?
There are others in that field already, and I uphold the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design has this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects touched by whatever person is under investigation.
Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes!
As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Look at these two. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues.
That's a spirit, Bruno! See you later.
Yes, until later. No, Mr. Sholmes, we were thinking you'd come with us. Yes, come with us. Field trip, field trip, field trip, field trip. You were? Yes, of course. You just said so a moment ago. You said we'd witness your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Runo. Bye, Susie.
Come on, Sholmes. Be our wingman. Be our detectiving wingman. Let's go. I wonder if there's anything happening here that is relevant. Let me check something real quick. Oh, the rat's still here. There's still a freaking rat here. Hold on, let me check something. Bing bong. Okay, cool. Oh, what do you suppose is happening? Sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Oh? Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily thou art mistaken.
Mistaken my foot. You were looking at my paintings.
I don't remember the voice I gave her. The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed, the poison that mustached villain gaveth me. Forgive me, lady.
I wish that you died from that poison.
Oh, get him. God have mercy, ample lady, but thou seest I have vigor still. Behold my Shakespeare dance! No, we're just gonna watch him. Is this an eternal cycle? No, I'm putting the controller down. We're just gonna watch him do this for a little while, because you know what very cursed thought just entered my head? Fortress of the Sea, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream squad. This man is doing a dance, and I've been on TikTok too much the past few days, and all I can think is about that meme that's been going around that is entirely the fault of Justin fucking McElroy, the fucking berries and cream shit. And I'm looking at this man jumping up and down, and all I can... Yeah, it's a new Fortnite dance. Berries and cream, berries and cream. Sir, look, he'll just do this forever. Look at him go. That's the spirit. Look at him go. He's just fucking vibing.
This looks rather ominous, doesn't it?
Don't mind me, just taking it. Oh god, he's seen us. Shit. Nobody move, he can't see it if we're not moving.
Ah, lo, 'tis the lawyer from the land where rises the sun. How now?
What are you doing here, Mr. Shamspear? Why are you doing the berries and cream dance?
Mary, I do believe I've returned unto another ward. He was looking, that's what he was doing. Looking at my terrible work.
We saw your cringe, dude. Eastern fellow so darky clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Oh, well, thank you. But that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Yeah, straighten that shit back out. Anon exunt. Fare thee well, bitch boy. See you later. Mr. Shamspear might technically be the victim in this case, but there's definitely a lot more to it than that. It's very hard to pin the man down.
Hi, cutie. I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person.
Miss Green, is everything all right?
Oh, yes. I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now.
Oh, I see.
We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it.
Is anything else happening in here? There's that fucking rat again. No, I think have we seen everything in this room? Probably. I don't suspect the medicine cabinets have much to do with anything. Oh, this looks like the treatment for whoever notes occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital. The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so... He or she is probably running around the hospital then. Oh dear, how worrying. What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. I think we've already seen everything in this room, but... Just investigating. Just looking at some shit. Oh, what's this one? Nothing, apparently. Okay, well. We were here. What's up, Dick? Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually.
The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I know the score. Oh, yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside the window. Did you find it? Was with the tea in it? Yeah, we found it all right. There was a small amount of that tea in it, as you said. Knew it. Did that man just reload his potato wedges? Yeah, he has bottomless fish and chips. The results should be available later today.
That's wonderful news, thank you.
Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing. Forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here. Oh, he's just gonna be grumpy. Hi, Sholmes. What you doing, bud? What you doing? Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? Hi, buddy. There you are. What a question indeed. Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Oi, what are you doing here, Sholmes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems.
Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised?
She's such a fangirl. Girl, same. With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. Oh yeah, the outfit he had on before is like his house outfit, but when he's not at home. What's up, Goggles? This is what he wears when he's like out and about. What's all this? Ooh, spooky. All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Herlock Sholmes' sensational skin print Seeker gun. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample from Mr. Shamspeare's cup? Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this, a refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of this goggles. Oh, yeah, he used that in the last case, in that anime cutscene. We didn't actually get to play with it, but he did use it in the boat case. The fucking murder boat. Here, try them on. There. Now, spray the chemical indicator about, and all will be revealed. It's like luminol, but no one died. Spray? How do I do that exactly? Little press of A on the area you're interested in is all that's required. Like this. What is that stuff? It's like fog. A suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. The most efficient way to cover a large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally while I was developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. You may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Okay, we're spraying. We're spraying. Oh, shit. Look, there are dozens of handprints here. So there are, a great many indeed. So much that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact. Sends a chill down my spine. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. Rather dull scene, after all. And without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel. Oh, very true, Miss Usato. It's a bit of a mystery, then. Spritz. Where's Gregson? I want to spray him in the face. Get him. Spritz. Spritz. Spritzing. Wee. I'm spraying. Okay, bye. Thanks for hanging out, though. What game is this? Great Ace Attorney not investigations. Great Ace Attorney, Chronicles, Game 2. Okay, have I investigated everything? Spritz, 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 spritz. Spritz, spritz, spritz. Okay, it's not letting me... This is an episodic game? Yeah, so there's like 5 cases per game, and each case is kind of like individually contained, but there is a meta plot that's kind of happening underneath everything. What else do I need to look at? Oh, look at all this here. Ah, yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints. Why are there so many of them on the floor in one spot? Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here? No, he had some shit under the floorboards. There's nothing obvious he would have tripped over, though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Schultz. Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Lift up the floorboards. See what he's hiding! Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? We did, but there are 2 places in particular that are of interest, I would say. Loose-ass floorboards! The handprints on the floor here, and on the wall by the picture, you mean? Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment. What is it, Miss Usato? Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out. Knew it. One of the... You mean... secret hiding place? Excellent work, Miss Usato. So, what do we have in there? Oi! What are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson. Stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate there. Then you should have found it before, you dick. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig in your portion of chips whilst we fish around under the floor there. It did say dig, but my brain auto-filled fish. We're fishing around while he eats his fish and chips. It was unintentional, but I'm rolling with it. Your fancy talk's putting me off my food anyway, Sholmes. New bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. It's not a hiding place you could make use of in Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw tatami mat. No, I know. But I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there, too. Aren't you curious? Oh! I'll investigate it once. Does he have a fucking secret wall panel? There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. How disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprints? I really can't think of why anyone would want to be touching the wall over and over again in one place like that. What you doing, Sholmes? There you are. A print for you. Interesting. I guess we're gonna figure that out more later. Oh, thank you very much. This invention can make prints too. Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know!
So am I.
What's up, Greg? I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Let me task Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Inspector Gregson! Really, it's been too long. What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there. Seeing as we're such good friends. We're not friends. Damn, Greg. No, I suppose not. Oh! A dismal failure! Yes, I heard. I'd kill to know what was under that floorboard. Gregson! Gregson! Alright then, fair's fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. Suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow! If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Oi, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There were 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Lav Lad, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Stream Squad. Now, what do you want to know? Dude, I don't need any hints! I will tell you guys when I need hints! It's fine. Let me play the game. Looks like it was cut out from the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving a time in Manchester. How terrible. Made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first. Oh my goodness, he committed a capital offense? Man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work. Burglaries and burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he knocked off was worth about £1,000. A hoard? Of treasure, you mean? Jewelry and the like, but he'd hidden it somewhere, and no one knows where. Now he's dead. The papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell, or some such was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we've got on Selden back at the yard and see if I can turn anything up. Nice, gimme. Was he sentenced by the Reaper by any chance? Perhaps. Seems likely. So, this is a photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Is that? Wait a fucking second. That guy on the right is the same guy who was in the photo in the hospital room. And he's friends. Is he dead? Wasn't that... There was like some guy who used to live in Natsume's room who died. Was that her brother? Or something? Yes. It would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garrett, the landlord, of course. But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garrett's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You can take that print if you like. Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the yacht already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. Is that true? Well, it's too bad if we do. Fortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you! A dismal failure! Yes, I heard. We're going back to the hospital with that fucking photo. Wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamspear himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garrett was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it. I usually go for about 3 hours. The Ace Attorney streams usually last a little longer because I like to end them like on a note. Like a good cutoff point. Now this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shamspear, give us a clue, man!
You didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box.
Yeah, I do archive all of these streams on YouTube, and the VODs will be available for like 2 weeks, so if you can't see the end, you can always stop by and rewatch those. Here, I will drop a link to my YouTube channel. Beep. Okay. But anyway,
At least we found out what's inside the box.
yes, thin air. It's empty, rather like how I feel inside.
Is there nothing more to this box then?
I wonder. Add it to the court record, I wish to see it.
Kitty!
Yeah, we forgot to feed the cat last time. It's been hanging out in here.
Hello, Mama! Hello!
Oh, where's my cat? She's gonna think I'm talking to her.
Oh, look! It's that lovely little kitty cat. What was its name?
It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. Wonder how I got in here. Clever cat.
Oh, wonderful! Well then, Wagahai, here's something delicious I brought for you from the cat's meat man. Kitty, 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 kitty!
Yay! Feed the cat, feed the cat, feed the... We're finally feeding the cat, you guys! We didn't feed the cat yesterday, so now we get to feed the cat.
Oh ho ho, here's a little cat loaf. He couldn't be happier now, look.
Just hope we can bring some happiness to his owner, too.
Look at that little loaf. Oh, he's making biscuits. Hi, Wagahai. Hello, baby. Choo-choo-choo. Yay! Kitty, kitty, kitty.
That was a cheeky little meow, Wagahai.
Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever.
I think he may not appreciate that after a while. We have an investigation to get back to. I wish to see the baby. Let me look at the baby. Is there anything else in here that I need to look at? Oi, Gregathy!
So it turns out that Mr. Shamspear wasn't eating the soap after all.
That's right. The mystery of why he had it on the plate whilst holding a fork in his hand is solved.
Yes, to prize his latest ice coin out of its mold. And in the process, he accidentally broke the bar of soap in two.
Certainly was hard to imagine, let alone deduce. Teacup. Ah, the ill-fated teacups from which two men drank on the ill-fated night.
During their heated literary debate, yes.
Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? Sounds like it was quite a discussion.
Now I think of it, I'm sure that the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison.
That's what I'm saying, Susato! That's what I was saying from day one! That's fiction, Miss Susato. Let's hope it stays that way. What's up, Greg? You just gonna hang out there? Sun never shines in this room, thanks to that depressing bricked-up window.
Yes, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can't you?
That sounds like a very wise life lesson, Miss Susato.
Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo.
ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh.
That's true, but if you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change.
London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Suzato-san and I are going to make it to spring.
That's true. We don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone the gas stove.
Look how dark the stain on the floor is underneath the meter there.
Yes, from all the water dripping out after the ice coins melted as you established in court this morning.
It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it? Mr. Shamspeare must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose. It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. Anything else in here? We're gonna just make a little trip back here. So, are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green?
I am, thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me.
Well, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it?
As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business. And then completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already.
What a terrible week it's been for you.
Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I'll look back on this fondly.
Really?
Anyway, I must be getting my things together now so I'm ready to be discharged.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. Let me see that picture again. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Same fucking guy. They've got the same bangs. They're clearly related based on anime rules. We've already had this conversation. We haven't actually looked at any of that stuff, though, did we? Definitely the same guy, though. Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. Manchester Strangeways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours of this morning. He'd been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Okay. There's that. Yeah, I was hoping we could talk to her and show her the photo, but I guess not. Is there anything out here? Does not appear to be.
Mr. Garrideb appears to be out.
Oh well. I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. Alright, so not here. And Natsume is not here either. Let's go wander around and see if anything else is up. Okay, Iris is over there. Doesn't seem to do anything. Sholmes' shit is all messy. Okay. Perhaps there is still stuff in here. I would like to see the baby. Gregathy, what are you doing, sir? I want to look at the cat again. He's making a little loaf. Oh!
Kitty, 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 kitty.
I know we have an investigation to get back to. I want to look at the cat some more. The cat is the most important bit of this whole case. Damn you. What are we missing? Can't present anything right now, can I? No. Cat is more important. We love the cat, okay? We love Wagahai. He's a baby boy. He's a baby kitty kitty. Still want to know what the fuck this envelope is. Oi, Gregathy, when are you gonna tell us about the results of the poison analysis, huh? Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out what I'm missing here. There was nobody there, nobody there. I guess we didn't... Okay. We didn't check this side, I don't think. Why would they let us go here if there wasn't going to be anything important? Star, don't metagame. I know. Maybe I do have to look at something in here. Because this is the only thing I haven't investigated yet. It's probably nothing, though, but... Gotta check my shit. There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? You think it's safe to keep them like that? If you were a patient here, I feel you'd sure take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep. That is a worry. But at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one. Oh, I've no doubt you'd manage to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well. There are limits to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Miss Uzato. Okay, is there anything else in here? We talked to her. But, like, Punk was in here for a reason. What was he looking at? What was he doing? Did they do the stepladder thing in this series? They did it exactly once. With something, it wasn't a stepladder, but it was talking about like shovels versus spades, and I cracked the fuck up. I don't think we've been. Wait, is this different? This one's different. All sorts of medicines in this cabinet. Look. Oh. I can imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle or two. Well, at least there seems to be a little lock to secure the cabinet doors. I don't imagine that would stop you if you were hungry. I worried that you'd break the lock. Hunger doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know, Miss Uzato. Okay. Now we are here. Yeah, the thing is, like, we can't present anything to, like, any of the people here. You know, we haven't actually been back here yet. So, we know that Soseki-san took the tea to the victim on the night in question. But as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea. But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamsphere's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shamsphere's room that will help solve the mystery. I was looking! Well, naturally Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. But it couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. Definitely! And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left at the bar of soap. Yeah, Gregson, tell us what the deal is with the tea already, damn it! Hang on, let me see if I can't. Perhaps we should put this spade away somewhere. That's not a spade, Naruhodo-san. It's a shovel. This again. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a shovel. The lean. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? You're so right, Naruhodo-san. We mustn't quarrel over such trifles. On reflection, then, I think I'll leave the spade where it is. Yes, I think that's for the best. We may need a shovel when we're working in the garden. Just that petty little, it's a shovel. Alright, there's gotta be something going on at the scene. But it won't give me anything else. Gregson! Tell me your secrets, man! First of all, fuck you. Second of all, tell me your fucking secrets. Bruh. Okay. Don't get back on the floor, I want to show you shit. God damn it. God damn it, Gregson. Kitty cat, where were you hiding? Do you have something for us? I feel like you are in this room for a reason. But I can't present anything! I can only examine and move. That's all I'm allowed to do. Because last time it was a fucking teacup that tripped me up. But you can't find anything else in this room, damn it! There's fucking detective ass in the way. Whee! Yeah, we went to the prison. Nobody was home. What is happening? Okay, so we went to the hospital. We can't actually talk to her, but we examined everything. Iris is there, but Sholmes isn't. Nothing's happening up here. Nothing's happening on Briar Road. Maybe we can snoop around while Garrett's not home. I feel like there's not gonna be anything like... I'm just gonna like... Okay, yeah, confirmed. Alright. Fine. Fine, I won't poke around into man's shit. Like, I literally can't do anything here. Okay. Because we've examined pretty much everything here except this. Just talk about random stuff. Yeah, I examined all the new stuff, but it didn't really have anything more to show me. Like, we looked at this, looked at the map, soap. Nothing. Envelope we looked at, the teacups we looked at. Crime scene photograph, got nothing to look at. Medical report, nothing new. Like, we already looked at all the stuff on this. What in the fuck? Or, wait. Like, I think I looked at all the rest of these. Yeah, these are all just, like, photos. I can't really... There's nothing there. And there's something there. I want to know who this punk is. Who are you? Okay. Just because I want the game to move around some, or to move along. Automatically without pressing any buttons. I'll be handled on your behalf. If I can't find in the next 5 minutes, we'll just use autoplay to get to the next point. Because I don't want to, like, hold up the game too long. Because I feel like that's gonna get boring to watch. Wish I could present things. In here, I have a thing to show you, madam. Please explain. Whomst is in. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me cry. I don't know why. Ha-cha-cha-cha. It's like she was complaining he was looking at her paintings, and it's not letting me look at the painting. And there's nothing else in here. I'm examining. No new things. God, it makes me harkens back to the original Ace Attorney games on the DS, where it wouldn't like highlight specific points for you. You just had to tap and pray. Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna keep this on for exactly as long as it takes me to get to the next thing. Tell me where to go, game. Wait, we did have to go back there? Okay, stop. Maybe I just have to talk to Susato a little more, I guess. It's quite a shock earlier today, was it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand. I know. Not only that, but then finding out that he's actually a barefaced gas thief as well. Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san poisoning the tea. Careful of your phrasing, Susato-san. He didn't poison anything. And there's more to this Mr. Shamspear than we yet know, I'm sure of it. Mr. Shamspear certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. What's become of him, actually? I was told that he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. Oh, which one is that? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Assistant, like, they give you the assistant dialogue, and it's not usually, like, the game is not usually require you to talk to the assistants for their dialogue during this bit. It's usually just for hints if you get stuck. Ah, let me see. Ah yes, he's at the St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's as Londoners call it. We know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which she was taken. Ah yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back. Do be careful of your phrasing, Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone. Perhaps we both owe Soseki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. We've already been there, but maybe now we can unlock a new thing. Kazuma Asogi. The best friend I ever had. And the music turned off, so we're about to get some sad shit. And a lawyer with such promise. He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. The music! Still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. And then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. As a stowaway? Yes, you can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. No one will know. Hey, buddy. Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Why go to these lengths so I can come to you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial. That you really ought to go into law. Be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it, believe me. I guarantee it. But I've never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You'll have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world. A city at the forefront of everything. It can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? We could get married and be lawyer husbands! Never mind! Naruhodo-san? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts too. To change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right, but... Yes? I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? I mean this. His katana? I never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away, of course. No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it. When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Oh, we're getting some backstory now. Karuma? That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Isogi clan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his headband wrapped around the sword hilt. Makes me fucking cry! The Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do? Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. Were you gonna finally find out what that thing was? I knew you wouldn't let me down. Because we've been talking about this constantly since it got first brought up in the game! Or we still don't know what the very important something was! What did he mean by something very important that I have to do? I had hoped that the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet I've not found a single clue. I see. Okay, can we continue now? Maybe I can go talk to her now. Maybe, maybe not, maybe not. Anything new? Painting? No. Crime scene! Got it. Prison. Thank God! Okay, we've done it. Whew! We've unlocked the secrets. That took too long. Oh, Mr. Natsume is back. So he is. Mr. Natsume, hello. I am a cat. Sorry. I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or Hairlock Sholmes. I don't know about courts or trials or Old Baileys. I am a cat. That's what I am. Just a cat. You know, like Nya. Mr. Naruhodo, he's trying to escape from reality. Trying to? He already has, completely. So, what is your name, then? As yet I have no name. Mr. Naruhodo, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality. Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? I am not a cat. It worked! He's back in the real world. What's going to become of me? No! Don't answer that! It's obvious! My accursed soul is never going to escape this cursed fate! Mr. Natsume, no! This morning's proceedings in court proved that there's hope! Yes, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire was brilliant, but... The Reaper is omnipresent! In court, in my lodgings, here, there, everywhere! What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss. Oh, yes, we must. What's up with you, dude? In my whole life, have I ever been so moved as I was today? No! Of course, if I cast my mind back, there were perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me more. But if I just block those out, then today, being in that courtroom was... It was the most moving experience of my life, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're too kind.
Scotland Yard found the remaining tea just as we deduced and are analyzing it as we speak.
There's nothing wrong with that tea. You won't find a drop of poison in it. That's a solemn, sworn Soseki certainty. Tell me, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? Oh yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot. We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies.
And at the time, you were both completely fine.
As shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamspear then engaged in Romeo and Juliet match. I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be how the poison was taken by the victim then. I still can't get over the name Shamspear, it's amazing. That rotten Shamspear! What have I ever done to him? You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? I've been holed up in my room immersed in books. I don't recall anything. Anything at all! Right. But what I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner.
Let you know what, Mr. Natsume?
About the soap, of course. What else?
Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend?
Of course I am. If I had money. I wouldn't have chosen to live an accursed existence in such accursed lodgings. Oh yes, you said it's because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly. Especially the room that I rent. The spirit of that capital offender who lived there still haunts the place and it's trying to kill me. Capital offender, you say? Capital offender? Might I ask, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, that the next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soaps? Do you happen to mean this guy? What's this? It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shamspear's room. Ah, so he knew, did he? Sorry? About this man, Selden. A convicted killer, and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings. What? He's already taken one young man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another, a miserable, much maligned Japanese man. Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit. Did he kill Blondie? The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now. And at the time, he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garretev's house. The brainworms are at it again. Earlier on in this trial, we talked about how weird it was that Miss Green, the girl from the hospital, how weird it was that she was even on this side of town to begin with. Because her university is apparently very far away. If brother slash boyfriendo, whatever her relationship is to the kid in the photograph, if he lived there, was she coming to do something? Because Soseki was saying something about being strangled in the middle of the night, and I feel like that's going to be important. I don't know how, but I feel like it will be. I've got the brain worm, something big. They're all up in there. Sholmes' head's full of rocks. My brain's full of worms, and they're trying to figure out conspiracy theories. What? He lived where you do now? That's right, yes. Exactly where I live now, in my very room. Oh my! Your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense? But before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse. What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume? It's already caused one death, a few months after the criminal passed away in prison. A man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. Poor lodger. He was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside. Okay, so that must be Blondie. So he wasn't killed by the serial killer, but he lived in the room after the serial killer. Okay. Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So that's the convict's curse, is it? Yes. Well, that was the start of it. Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume? The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Gas? I only found that out after I'd signed the lease. When Mr. Garrett came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily legal! Lucky for Mr. Garrett, maybe, but not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. And now you believe this curse is affecting you? It is! At first, I just felt as though I was being watched. Wait! He feels like he's being strangled because there's a fucking gas leak in the room and they never fixed it? I just felt as though I was being watched all the time. And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you? The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. There's a fucking gas leak in his room! And it's giving him sleep apnea or whatever. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. And the room is as cold as ice! But why is your room so cold? London winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight. But for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas. But that's terrible! It's exactly the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there's what happened to Mr. Shamspear last night, when he was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident that can be explained by a curse, though. Whatever can be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Garrett's rooms? Your house is fucked up, Garrett. You gotta go fix it. Holy shit. Do you know anything about any more of these people? Not this guy. I don't think he'd know anything else about any of this shit. Okay, well, if we need to, we can come back. I bet he's back now. Yep, there he is. Ah, you're here now, Mr. Garrett. Right bally business it is for me, you know? Getting out and about. Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance? Naturally. Fate of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that. Not a trial to miss. Fate of what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes. Of course, the place has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the old haunted lodgings or some such. Ah, well, at least he knows. Makes you wonder what the blazes is going on, don't you know? Yes, I'm sure Hi, Sholmes! How long have you been here? Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial just 2 days ago... Are we not going to acknowledge the Sholmes in the room? You were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened. Yeah, it was like 2 days ago. Stopped off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business. I see. So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh? Are we just not going to acknowledge Sholmes? He was here. Where did he go? Sir. Sir. It's haunted by a certain detective, I think. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet for rum fellows as of late. Thanks to that bally curse. Convict's curse, you mean? Ah, heard the stories, have you? Rotten scoundrel was arrested here, then the next chap in the room goes and keels over. Then there was that woman who dropped dead just outside on the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. Am I next, eh? Well, can't help but get the collywobbles, can you? Well, she's not dead.
When you say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street, do you mean Miss Green?
Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspear, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still. Yes, well, so is that blasted convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, a fascinating history. Why? It sounds like the lap of luxury. I'm not so sure about that. Are we just not going to acknowledge him at all? He's just there, and just with no pomp and circumstance. I guess he was just been around, and we just haven't been able to talk to him. Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either. But you do look out for your tenants, don't you? By watching the rise and fall of the flames in your gas lamps up here. Yes, never hurts to keep an eye on things, in case there are any mishaps or such like. I think you've had your mishap already, sir! That's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes. Heaven forgive me! The words just came to my lips. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? There's no need for that, Mr. Garrett.
That's right, Mr. Natsume is in no way fishy.
He is undeniably peculiar, however. Is it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away? Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone, and he popped up the very same day. Never came across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were. I don't think it was the room's background that he was keen on so much as the cheap rent, actually.
So, how long has Mr. Shamspear been lodging under your roof?
That failed actor chap? Let me see. Oh, of course. Yes, it's been 3 months now. Quite sure of it. Only 3 months? Quite new here too, then. And to what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garrett, if I might ask? Well, it was that Selden scoundrel, as it happens. Selden? The convict, you mean? Does Selden and Shamsphere have some kind of connection, then? That convict chap, Selden, passed away in the clink 3 months ago now, you see. Some malady or other.
Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time.
Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedian showed his face, the actor fellow. Really? Yes, I remember it quite distinctly. 'Tis small, this world we inhabit. Prithee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamspear, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor offered erstwhile for rent. Terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. Already have a lodge on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant, though. Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee. Those cows must be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor's taken. It's ground floor and nothing. Very well, we have an accord. I'm glad to hear it. Welcome to Briar Road. Lo, Shamspear dabs to celebrate. There he goes. He's doing the little lad dance. Look at him go. Yeah, there are a couple of characters named after characters from Sherlock Holmes stories. There was one from the first game, too. I'm not as familiar with Sherlock Holmes, though, so I can't identify most of them. But there have been several references, including the aforementioned actual Sherlock Holmes who is here. Sorry, Herlock Sholmes, my boyfriend. My stupid boyfriend. From what I heard in court today, sounds like the chap was thieving gas. And he was 3 months in arrears with the rent, too. Yes, the fellow was a bully player, all right. Speak of the devil, there he is. Thank you for your candor, Mr. Garrideb. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me. Sholmes, what the fuck are you doing? What's happened to you? Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. I wish to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have a turn for literature too, you know. Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines then? Excuse me, sir. Look at this photograph! Mr. Garrideb, could I ask you to look at this photograph? Is that your son who's with you there? No, not at all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name. Ross, you say? He's a painter and his name is Ross, you say? Duncan Ross. A street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really. I think Sholmes is ace. Sorry. No, I love it. Like, he has a line in the first game, apparently, that was not in the official translation, but the fan translation, there's a line about it's like, that logic was so hot, you'd never even believe this detective was single and lonely, and I've felt bad for him ever since. But I could definitely see him as being ace, though, because I am also ace, and I'm collecting them just in my little box. Just my little ace box. Everyone is there. It's like Smash Bros in there. Was he by chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume? Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's Ace Attorney. Ah, the young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. Just what Mr. Mustache was waiting for, one might say. Yes, young Duncan lived in the room... got Russian. Young Duncan lived in the room at the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap. Would you mind telling us a little more about him? Yes, Duncan Ross. Fine chap, was attending art school. He had to work to pay for it, mind. Moved into the middle floor room about a year ago, after that criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them. A history of cheap rent, maybe, yes. Well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. Hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodgers were up to at the time. So sadly, I was rather tardy to discover what had happened. The smell of gas alerted me there was. Ah, yes. Synonymous with the smell of death. Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off its hinges. But once we got inside, we all bodily collapsed. Because of the gas? Yes, the room was full of it. No air at all. Stove must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed. So Mr. Ross suffocated to death. Of course, the police gave me a sound ticking off because the gas pipes were so old and all that. Can't tell you how much it set me back to have the lot replaced all over the house. But even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. That the stove goes out at night while he's asleep in bed. Well, that's a bally curse! The convict's curse! I've done my duty as a landlord now. Someone's feeling defensive. Yes, welcome to my chat, fellow aces. Hello. Ah, that reminds me, actually. Yes? About young Duncan, the night before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady.
A love letter, you mean?
Yes, where did I put it now? Ah, here it is. Left it on my desk. Why do you have that? If you'll excuse me. Let me see now, what does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Do you think that we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence?
My dear Miss Susato, that is precisely why I preface my reading it with, if you'll excuse me.
I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes, no!
Sadly, he didn't address it, though. I bet I know who it goes to, though. Bet I know. Bet I got a pretty good idea, though. So I've no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really. I see. It's gonna play on my mind.
But really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Slips it into back pocket anyway. Indeed, the intended recipient's address is missing. However, there's a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Mr. Sholmes, please, I've already had to chastise you about this once.
My undying love to you, my colorful darling. Olive green. Knew it. Called it. Called it. Ah! Olive green? A woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside this house 5 days ago. The victim of the last case Soseki-san was in court for, who regained consciousness only yesterday. Is it just chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence?
Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean?
Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Miss Uzato. Let's fucking go! To the hospital! Up and away!
Mr. Naruhodo, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last.
This is good news, but hopefully Ah! What is it? Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back.
Well, one moment! I'll be with you in a jiffy.
Sus AF.
Oh, hello everyone. What are you all doing in here? The doctor said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together. Miss Green, what were you just doing? Oh, nothing. Really? I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all.
Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's alright.
I don't really have anything else to tell you.
Alright, she's definitely behaving strangely. See if we can't coax something out of her. Is this your boyfriend? Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you? Oh shit! It's Pepto-Bismol. Or Danganronpa blood. Oh no, I'm so sorry! The bottle of medicine fell down when she did.
Oh, Miss Green, are you alright?
So sorry, I didn't mean to startle you like that.
No, it's alright. I just wasn't expecting it. But how do you know about Duncan? Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter. To you. It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan, a year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And the two of you became romantically involved? Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually.
Oh shit.
That's why you decided to move into a cheaper room to save money for the wedding.
That's what led him to Mr. Garrideb's.
Yes, he told me he found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End.
Yeah, this is still case 2. Then,
1 month ago, that's when it happened. I'm so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose. Poor Miss Green. She looks desperately sad.
I was starting to think that's just her look. But now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. not examine. Well, I mean, I'm gonna examine that shit later, but... It's wonderful news that you're gonna be discharged, Miss Green.
Oh, yes. I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat.
She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure.
I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... Would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our way. Mr. Naruhodo! Sholmesy, there he is! Just fucking little twirl! There he is! Surely you were not about to leave. That's quite out of the question. But, Mr. Sholmes, I didn't realize you were here. But of course I was, my dear fellow. Oh! The fucking rat's dead. Look, behind the freaking... She was trying to... She was trying to commit suicide just now, wasn't she? Trying to drink rat poison. What? Girl! Oh, God. But of course I was, my dear fellow, watching intently from the shadows as always. Well, make your presence known next time. It's like the fucking rat is dead. It drank whatever was in there and now is dead. Holy shit. Mr. Sholmes, what's this about? Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Miss Usato, is this. Why do detectives insist on such ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? There's a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruhodo. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening, with nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look, and you cannot fail to see.
You can do it, Mr. Naruhodo. I know you can.
Yeah, what the fuck? That mouse seems to be dead. Look, I didn't notice it there before. Did you?
I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived.
You don't think... Ah, I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Holy shit. I didn't know this game was gonna go there. Yes, I think it's falling into place. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before is spilt out on the floor. And the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died.
Ah!
I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison.
Don't worry. I will attend to the mouse presently.
Holy shit. Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? To take your own life?
Yeah.
Once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison?
No! Miss Green, please talk to us.
And I'm gonna look at that too while we're at it. Definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand that can only be described as a very tense atmosphere.
Yes. It may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes was about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it.
Okay, well I guess she'll have something to say to us. "10 seconds later, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green.
Actually, in a way. Now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted.
Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine?
Well, with this being a hospital and all, when the doctors came to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking.
It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains.
I'm afraid I don't really know, but I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow.
Girl.
Oh, please, Miss Green, don't talk of such things.
Well, it seems clear that it now contains poison.
Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. Oh no. Oh, it's all my fault. What have I done?
I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection?
No, none.
Shit.
Neither.
That's the other half of the fucking envelope! That's the other half of the fucking envelope! Shamsphere, what the fuck did you do? Neither the sender's name or address appear to be written on the envelope or the card.
It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in the hospital here.
I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Oh, shit! Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance. Well, we know who fucking sent that. Wait a minute. The 17th of this month? That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. And 5 p.m. is precisely the time when the incident occurred. The Slug and Salad, yes. A pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road, being the street that Mr. Garrett's house is on.
Does this mean that... Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad.
Terrible name for a pub, honestly. Just makes me think of snails eating salad.
Goodness.
So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day?
I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I've told you everything.
Yes, I'm very sorry to have to drag up such painful memories for you.
No, it's fine.
Miss Green. Please, promise us you won't try to do anything like that again.
Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the bottle now anyway. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison, and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. It might sound a little conceited, but, well, that's how all this has made me feel.
Aww. Leaving Miss Green and St. Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes. Fuck this game. Well, it would appear we've reached the end of our investigative trail for the day. Yes, it's late. And, Mr. Naruhodo? Did you discover anything that may be of use to you in court tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamsphere, Mr. Garrett's lodgings, the convict Selden? There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway.
I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis.
Into Mr. Natsume's tea, you mean?
Yes. Will they have found strychnine in it or not?
Well, I fear that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend Mr. Reaper.
Oh dear.
Yes, Barak von Zoinks. But I wish you every success, of course. And although I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial. Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come? Indeed. Whatever happens, I shall be there. Assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. Place your bets now whether or not he actually shows up. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to some 6 million people. But away from the razzle-dazzle down back alleys and bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. So Seki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here. And so I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow would be a new dawn, for all of us. And what perfect timing, I think. To be continued, right? 10 minutes. A little early, 10 minutes, but that, I think, is a perfect stopping point for today. And we shall continue this shit on Monday, baby! Wait, hang on. My audio's turned off. Fuck. Monday, baby! There we go. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me! Next Ace Attorney stream will be on Monday, same time, 5 p.m. CST, 6 p.m. EST, and I believe it's 3 p.m. Pacific time. Woo! We shall continue onward from there. Let's find someone to raid! Wee! Bia's raiding! Let's fucking go! Glorious air horns indeed. Alright, I'm gonna do my last minute shilling before we go. So, thank you guys for coming out. Make sure that if you aren't already, please follow my Twitch channel so that you can get notified every time I go live. I also post on Twitter and Discord when I go live. My Discord is mostly for my webcomic, but it also has a stream chat channel where we discuss the games that I've been playing and memes and stuff. Also, hey, check out my store. It has nothing to do with Ace Attorney, but I do have some Ace Attorney stickers there, and I just released a new brush pack today for Clip Studio Paint. That's exciting. Also, read my webcomic. Just saying. I've been told it's pretty good. I was working on it earlier today, in fact. Haha! Anyway, I shall see you guys later. We're gonna go raid Bia. Make sure to give them some love. It looks like they're working on some art stuff. So go over there, scream star raid, and then say something nice about what they're drawing. Because they are a very good artist, and they need some love. Okay, I'm activating the stream now. Fare thee well, friends! I shall see you on the other side, and if not on the other side, I will see you on Monday. Goodbye!